What's up, YouTube fans? Today, we're going to take a look at the Magic Square Lord of War, or their version of a Legend Scale Bruticus. So today, we're finally going to combine this set, thanks to Matt Partsformer for sending these for review and allowing me to hold on to them. And it's been a long way, but we're here finally, and I just wanted to show them in vehicle mode together as a team before we go off and transform them. And they do really look good together. Really cohesive looking team. You can do a little bit of, display together. You can get Bruticus or Onslaught here with Brawl on the back, and that looks really nice. It's a nice display option. You can also probably put Swindle here if you want, or maybe the other way around. The others don't really fit on there. I guess you could pretend to be launching the shuttle, but some nice display options in vehicle mode if you wanted to do that. But let's get this guy ready for combination. I'm not going to show all of the transformations on camera. I'm really just going to show you the combination, how to combine them together, and I'm going to do a review on the combined mode. So let's get to it. All right, and here we are ready to combine. Here's all the combiner parts, and I've configured them. Most of them are basically in vehicle mode with a little bit of adjustments. I'll show them, but I'm not going to show the transformations into the modes. But let's start with the legs. So here is Swindle, and I have this part open, unhooked from here, and you can actually leave these open as well. So we're going to first attach the foot, which is going to go in between here. So this peg is going to go in between these two, and then you're going to squeeze it together. And make sure you squeeze that all together. Make sure these two sides are tabbed in properly. That really, there's a lot of pressure holding on those, so you have to make sure those are attached. Next, we'll attach this back panel here. So this plugs in right here. There's two tabs on the bottom, and then there's a tab on the top. You have to actually open it up, and this tab's right there. That tab on the top goes right here. So get those all lined up, and again, this is the one that tends to come out the most, so make sure you get that all squared and locked. So it should be nice and solid. This is going to slide in. It's actually a little difficult to get it in, but if you push it open like this, push from the back and slide up, that's the best way to get in there. It's just it's a tight tolerance. Slide that up, and then close this up, and this has to make its way under. You do have to make sure the arms have a little gap so that this can come down and peg in. It's a little tricky. That's why I'm using a spudger. I recommend a spudger to get this around the front of the arms. But once you get it down, then close this up, close these back up, squeeze that all together, and there's one leg. All done. All right, let's go ahead and do Brawl, and I think you can actually balance there. So for Brawl, we're going to come to the bottom here. You're going to flip this panel down. You can see there's two little slots there and a square peg that are going to plug into here. So that's actually a really easy connection. Just slide that in, and you're done. For this, we have to attach around this peg first, so I recommend doing the leg first. So get this in between these two tabs, and then squeeze it together. Make sure it's lined up. There's actually a very specific spot to get it in, and then give it a nice squeeze. So you turn it like that, and then this kind of holds that all together. So again, bottom two on the top. Get those plugged in. The top ones are a little tough. They're lining up with these top holes, so make sure you get those in and secured. And that kind of holds the whole thing together. So go ahead and take Onslaught here, and you can see how I have it configured. Legs are kind of folded up, tabbed into the side. I have these arms up for a reason. I'm going to show you that. Go ahead and unpeg these from the side, and then we're going to open up this as well. Right, and just leave that down because we're going to Actually tab this onto here, so there's a little slider piece that's going to slide into his crotch like that. Then we're going to take this, and this is going to attach here. This can be very difficult because there's a lot of tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tabs you're trying to get into the front of this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I recommend starting on the bottom and working your way up little by little. It's easy to start getting this to come apart, so just do it that way. Actually, at that time nothing came apart, so I got lucky. You're going to take this is going to come up, and this is the step that I think people are missing, so I'm going to spend a little time explaining it, but you're going to open up these little panels right here, and those are going to hook into the side of these. So bring this up, hook this in, and it should look something like that. Right? Same as this one. Bring this up, hook this in, and we want this configured that way. Then you can close these around it. And that's the configuration. Now it's really solid. I know a lot of people may have missed those steps. It's kind of hard to see. But these are going to come down, the arms now. And you're going to accordion it down on that double hinge. Same on this one. Bring this down. And then accordion that in on the double hinge. And it's going to be a little challenging, but you want to squeeze those arms together. And the reason I did it after is because we needed to get these into the sides first. So just get all that squeezed together. And you could use a spudger to just give a little bit of extra oomph. But there you go. Then you can bring the head down. This you're going to tab in right there. Pretty simple. And then these are going to tab into the sides. Same on this side. And now we've got the torso together. So we can take his chest panel that has 2 tabs here and then 2 tabs here. They're going to go in. So just line that up. Get that tabbed on there. And now we've got just the arms left. So let's take a look at the arms. So you got this panel here, or this tab here. And on blast off, we're going to open up this panel. I recommend use a spudger. Get it right in between here. You're going to pop up the cockpit. You have to actually open up this, and it's going to slide down in here. Now I had a little bit of flash plastic inside here. You can actually see there's still a little bit in there. Tried to get it away, but basically that plastic was in the way, and it will prevent you from sliding the combiner port down in there. So you got to get rid of that, but it should look like that. You're going to slide this up, and I recommend angling this up just a little bit. So you can slide this up on that joint and make sure it goes all the way. Then you can close this up, and then you can close the shuttle back up. And it is nice and secure once you get it. You can rotate the arm to the front, but that's how it should look. Come to the front of the arm. This is actually, I thought this would not stay, but it's very secure. There's 2 tabs and 2 bigger tabs down here. They're just going to plug in. Normally I would say that's not a good system, but it actually works. It stays pegged. It's very secure. All right. And now we'll work on this arm. So this one's a little more complicated. You want to open up his tail section here. This front section is very complicated to get transformed. Like I said, I'm not going to do it on camera, but here's what it looks like. That's the connection for the hand. And if you open this up, this is the connection for the combiner port. It slides in right here. So go ahead and slide that in, and then you're going to close all of this around it. I just don't like how it works, to be honest. It's annoying. Once you get it, it's very secure. So once you get that slit on there, go ahead and close the tail back up. And this is a puzzle piece tab. I know it's called a dovetail, but I'm going to call it puzzle piece from now on because I want to get that word out there. I don't know. All right, so it should look like this. And then we're going to attach the hand. And the hand, there's a painted part down here that matches up with this. So this is going to slide on. Then you close these two panels around it. They're just going to tab into the sides. So get those tabbed in, give it a nice squeeze. All right, and there we have Lord of War in combined mode. And it does pay off here in combined mode. It does look really nice. It is intended to be more of an IDW style Bruticus, but it does look good. It's a nice, consistent paint details there. We have the different colored feet here since it's not the tuned version. Here's the back. It is relatively clean. There's a little bit of kibble here and there, but overall, pretty clean for a combiner. All right, let's go over his articulation. The head is on a ball joint, so it gets pretty far up. I was surprised. Down to there. If you go a little too far, you'll unplug the panel. Rotates around, and you get a side to side. You get some red paint for the eyes there. It's actually a really nice looking head sculpt. Shoulder rotates out of the round on a hinge here. Could stand to be a little bit tighter, but it's okay. Up to the side, up to there on another hinge. You have a rotation here at the elbow, or I guess mid bicep. Again, a little bit loose, but it works. It works. You have less than 90 degrees here at the elbow, just up to there. Rotation at the wrist, in and out movement, dice roll at the wrist. The hands are individually articulated. So each finger has 2 friction pins, and then the thumb is on a ball joint and a pin. So you can get some nice movement, and you can splay these out as well. It's a nice movement on those hands. For the waist, you have a rotation here, and you have a double jointed ab crunch, so you can get it all the way down and all the way back. So you can actually sit down if you want them to. For the legs, you have hip skirts on the side and the back, and then the front hip skirt moves with the leg. So you get up to there, almost straight 90 degrees, just a little shy. And then as you go back, the hip skirt moves forward, and you get up to there, going back. And then this hip skirt should just line back up. Out to the side on a a soft ratchet. It does hold. Rotation at the thigh on a universal. You do have a double jointed knee here. It does kind of have like a drop down joint. So as you bend it, you can get it, but just be careful because swindle starts coming apart. This is probably the weak point of the entire figure is swindle. These tend to pop out, and then this tends to pop off the back. So of all the joints on this thing, that's actually the only one I've experienced that's actually coming out pretty consistently every time I articulate this leg. So just be aware that you have to get this all reattached. But you do get a double jointed knee out of that. And this leg cover also likes to pop off very easily, so you can just pop that back on. For the feet, you get tilts all the way out to there. You have a toe tilt that gets you up to there. It's on a double hinge, so you can get it way up if you needed to. As far as accessories, we get a nice blaster here for Bruticus. Nice gray paint on there, sculpted. This is the only that weapon they painted, so I was surprised. That'll just tab into the hand. You can close the fingers around. And it does look like he's kind of holding the trigger. So that's nice. And all of the weapons for the individual bots can also be added on. So Brawl, plug in right here. Swindle, you can squeeze in between here. You have to open it up a little bit and then squeeze it back together. And that'll sit right there. For the back, Swindle's wheel will plug in right there. Then we can take Onslaught's weapon, plug that right here. Blast off the back of his elbow. Not the most convenient place, but it does go. And then for Vortex, we can take the two side guns, plug them where they normally go, on the side of the tail fin, or the tail. And then this gun, there's an extra tab right here, and you can just plug that right on top. And now we've stored all the weapons on him. Pretty cool. And for a quick size comparison, there is next to the New Age Omega Supreme and Optimus Prime. And he fits in nicely. Omega is a little bit taller and bigger, wider overall, but looks good with Legend Scale Collection. So final recommendations on the Magic Square Lord of War. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. And that is consistent with the scores he's been getting for the individual robots, with the exception of Blastoff here, which I think I gave a 5 out of 5 because I really liked the transformation. It was fun and simple, and the robot and vehicle mode looked really good. But other than that, pretty consistent throughout this set. I think they got the look down. It really looks the part. The articulation's pretty darn good for a combiner. I like that all the weapons store and can be, mounted in all three modes. Weaknesses for this guy is similar to what I've been saying all along. Materials do feel kind of soft. That plastic just doesn't feel great as you're transforming it. Transformations themselves, I don't find them fun, with the exception of Blastoff here. The rest of them I do not find fun at all. They are somewhat, ingenious the way they've done the design, but I just don't enjoy combining it or transforming it. And also, some joints, specifically the leg swindle, tends to come apart if you're messing with a lot, or this back panel tends to pop off. Those are minor complaints, though. Overall, I think it's a very successful combiner. One of the best versions of Bruticus we've gotten in any scale, to be honest. So if you are a Legends collector and you are a fan of the look of this guy, then I definitely recommend this combiner. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.